Welcome to Sports Close-Up, and today we have a special guest host, Pete Chido. Pete, thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, no problem.
And we're going to first do Meadville cross country and looking at three great runners for the Bulldogs. To my right, Pat Stevens. In the middle, Tucker Watson. And to his right, we have Matt Beveridge. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Guys, what a great year for you three. The team won the region. So let's talk to you first, Pat. How long have you been running for the Bulldogs?
For the Bulldogs, since 7th grade. Started at Seton in elementary school.
And why did you choose cross country? Because a lot of people that probably wouldn't be the first sport.
Yeah, it's an odd sport just to like pick up. My brother ran, so I jumped in with him, and then he left to play basketball, so I just kept running, and I quit all my other sports to run and kind of put all my eggs in one basket, and it's panned out, I guess.
Tucker, I have the same question to you. How long have you been running and why?
For Meadville since 7th grade, and I started with Pat at Seton in elementary school.
You know, both of you said for Meadville, so have you run your whole life?
In elementary school, I started probably in 5th grade and ran 2 years there. It was a new program at Seton, and decided to give it a try, and it was a lot of fun. So.
Same with you, Pat?
Yeah.
So you ran as a 5th grader at Seton?
Yeah.
What do you run at Seton? I mean, you know, you have like, you don't have an outside.
Yeah, it wasn't very serious. We came here for a couple months, and then we'd run just like
the parking lot between the church
pretty
and
much.
the school.
It wasn't very serious, but when we came here, then it picked up a little bit, and then 9th grade is when we really started to put the effort in and put the hard work in.
Tucker, when did you start running for Meadville? I guess 9th grade, 7th grade?
7th grade, middle school, yeah.
Okay, and what about you, Matt?
I started running this year for Meadville, and then I ran for Seton 3rd through 6th grade.
So you came out as a senior this year?
Yeah.
What did you do before that?
I played soccer.
So what made you go from soccer, which you still do a lot of running, obviously, in soccer.
Right.
Why'd you come out for cross country this year?
I decided that I thought it would be a better fit for me. I thought I could have some pretty good success in it. So.
Anybody in your family that ever ran for Meadville back in the day?
Yeah, my dad did. Dylan.
Then he ran to college too, didn't he?
Yeah, Mercyhurst.
And he's in their Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't your grandfather run as well?
Keith. Yeah, he ended up running in college. I don't remember where at.
So that had to be, were they kind of scratching their heads when you made the decision to play soccer? Or was it just whatever you wanted to do?
In 6th grade, I kind of told my dad that I was just like a little bit stressed out with the whole fact of having to be like following after him kind of. So then I just decided to quit and then just pursue soccer. So he was all right with it for the time being, but then I told him I wanted to get back to it. So.
But you had been having really good springs with the track and field team, didn't you? Of doing some distance running and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was like the main thing. Was 10th grade. My friend wanted me to come out for track, so that's why. That's whenever I just texted my dad, and I was like, I think I'm ready to get back to running. So.
And did your success in the spring, did that make you want to keep running in the fall as well?
Yeah, that's what pretty much made me want to get into cross country, was that I was having a lot of success with track and field. So.
Yeah, well, it was a good call, I'd say.
Yeah. And Tucker, why don't you explain to us and to the viewers the difference between running for soccer and running for cross country?
Wait, do you want Matt to?
Matt, I meant. I said Tucker, excuse me.
I played midfield in soccer, so it was still like a bit of running, but it was definitely more so like, it wasn't all together. I mean, like you'd stop and walk for a bit, so cross country is definitely harder running.
Sorry, but with him joining you guys, that kind of helped put a lot of things together for you guys as a unit for this Region 6 title and stuff like that, didn't it? Because you guys were already running and him coming in really.
Yeah, ever since he started track, he's been on our 4x800 relay team that's had a lot of success, and we'd been pushing him in 10th grade and 11th grade to come out and join the cross country team because we knew we were that close to having a good team, and he put us over the edge, and he's part of the reason why we have this region championship.
You know, and also in your team, you have a head coach, Coach Jones, that's been running this program for years. Not to say that he's old, but he's been a long time running the cross-country program. Does that help you guys when you're coming up the program, knowing that your coach knows about technique and running and gives you good advice?
It definitely puts like faith in our training, I guess. Like it's all gonna pan out because like while you're doing it like in August and July, like it's hard to like get through those workouts, but like knowing that it's all gonna like work out in the long run come like late fall, November 3rd at states. That's what like is the driving factor, I guess. And seeing his success and his personal success and his team successes, it gives us faith and hope that it will all work out, which obviously it did.
Tucker, when do you guys start?
Well, we really never end, I guess. With track and field, we all three do indoor track and outdoor track, so it's really more of just a couple weeks break in between each season. But I guess the cross-country training really starts probably 2 weeks into summer. You get a week or two off, and then you start going back to distance running.
And tell people when you guys do that. You guys do it early morning, if I'm not mistaken, right? During the summer, you come down to the school?
Yeah, we usually find a time to meet, because in the summer it gets pretty hot, so we like to meet 7:30, 8 a.m. and get the runs in, and then go home and enjoy summer.
So you got to really be dedicated for this sport, because you don't get to sleep in. You're out here at 7:30, right? Probably up before then if you're going to come down here and start running at 7:30. How much running do you do in the summer? I mean, do you guys do intervals? Do you do more some days, some less some others?
Summer is definitely more of like a distance factor, so we run a lot of miles and less workouts, where then when we get into season you do more workouts and less miles. So we increase the mileage. Like I got to 65 miles a week in the summer, and then we brought it down to mid 40s for the season. And then like the week of states you were down in the 30s. So it depends on like what time of year, but the mileage is pretty intense.
I would say I don't even drive 65 miles a week sometimes. It's running 65 miles a week. What does that do for you guys? Let me ask you this, Matt. When you're running that much, why do you get enjoyment out of it? People want to know why you enjoy that.
It's not really like running like the miles. It's really like too exciting, but definitely just like putting in the work and then knowing what's going to come out of it. That's probably the biggest thing.
Speaking of what came out of it, all three of these guys, we should mention that they all qualified for states, so had great runs at districts. And to qualify for states, talk about the AA boys this year. I mean, to get 3 out was pretty incredible. Talk about some of the competition you guys faced in that race. I mean, Jonah Powell, right?
Yeah, the AA boys, it was incredible this year. Because first there were teams that moved up from single A, Northeast, who Josh Lewis was, third at the district race.
Yeah.
Jonah Powell won districts and won the state meet. It's always been competitive, but this year, I mean, AA was packed.
Not to mention General McLean, Harbor Creek. And you and Tucker, you in particular were on the verge last year, and then you got all these new teams coming in, and you had to be thinking. I mean, what's going through? I mean, your last season. I imagine you really wanted this.
Yeah, it was tough. I went into it really wanting to make states as a senior, obviously, and making it last year.
Yeah.
But I knew with having Matt on the team that it was going to be tough, and then we started the season and found out about the teams coming up from single A, so I knew it was going to take a big improvement, and I just tried to run with these guys all year and follow in their footsteps, and I think that's what really helped me to make it, is running with these guys every single day.
And you moved up in your state performance. You were, 100 something?
Yeah, 114 last year and 66 this year.
Yeah, so like 40 spots you jumped up this year, so that was pretty outstanding. And Pat, you moved up from your freshman year.
Yeah, freshman year I finished 50th, and then this year I was 15th. I was hurt last year, so I missed it last year. But
right. Was it difficult getting back into the routine this year?
I missed cross country last year, but I had all of track season, so I didn't really miss out on much of like the racing mentality. But you definitely go into cross country races with a different mindset than you do track. Obviously, it's longer, more intense, just like the outdoors and stuff. So the mentality came back, but it came back pretty quick, and we just hopped right into it at the start of this year.
Because the whole season has kind of an arc, doesn't it? It has like a crescendo you're trying to build to at the end.
Yeah.
So that didn't. So you were well enough removed from last year in order to get back.
I don't think I missed too much. Track season I think was a little slow for me, from what I like at least, due to that injury. But I think all the mileage in the summer really I was ready for the year. So.
Evidently, yeah.
And you guys see Coach Jones during the track season also. He was one of the coaches there, so you never leave contact with him.
Yeah.
You guys did really well at states. Take us through your goal this year was to get to states, all three of you?
Yep. Yeah.
And you accomplished your goal. What was that like when states was over and you guys realized, hey, not only did we get here, we did pretty well at states?
I think going into the district meet, the mind is just to qualify, and then about 5 minutes after the race, then your mind just transitions to a state medal. So that's where our mindset's really transitioned.
Yeah, especially being the last spot to make it to states, I was like overwhelmed. It was quite the feeling. But then I woke up the next morning, Sunday morning, and the mind was on states and how I'm going to perform there.
Yeah, and for me, just coming out and it being like my first year, I think just getting through like the district, it was a stacked district, and making it to states was pretty big for me.
It's pretty big for a Meadville team too, I'd imagine, for you three to make it to states. Being that the districts was well stacked this year, and you guys had to beat some good runners just to get to states. What an honor it is, just to make it to states. How proud are you of the region championship for Meadville?
It's the first in 12 years, so to have a name on that trophy is pretty important for me. I'm proud of it.
Was that placed in front of the Bulldog at all?
Out front? No, I don't think it was.
No picture with the Bulldog yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Plans for the future, all three of your seniors.
Pat's a junior.
I'm a junior.
Oh, you're a junior.
I got one more year.
Excuse me. So tell me your plans then for next year.
Definitely a top 5 performance in the state. Hopefully track season this year.
Boy, Coach John's got to be smiling. He's only a junior. Boy, that's not bad.
I think there were 4 kids in the state that will be returning. So just gotta hopefully stay where I'm at or catch them. And look for a good
How do you
season.
get better in cross country?
Definitely the mileage. You've got to really put faith in your training. You really can't take like off days during the week. Like you don't skip a day. Like you skip a day and you lose time. So you really have to just be like bought in early summer, and you have to stick with it. There's a lot of like little things that like I think people look beyond that pay off, like stretching, eating, sleeping. Like they're all huge factors that will play factors in like every day, every race that you run. So.
How proud are your parents for your accomplishments so far?
They're
Mom and Dad at state meet?
Yeah, they were definitely at the state meet. I think they're more proud, just me and my brother too, because he was on the state basketball team.
Yeah.
So they've been in Hershey a lot, which really makes them happy. Yeah, it's a good place to be.
Coach Jones has been there a few times.
He has been. He's
in the last few years. Tucker, what about you? You're a senior.
Yep.
So what's your goals? You want to run in college?
Yeah, I'd like to. Depends on where I end up. I think I'm trying to find a school education, but I would love to run. I think to further the running career would just be awesome.
What do you want to do in college? What do you want to take up?
Probably some kind of business major.
Do you want to be a wealthy guy someday? Don't blame me. Matt, what about you?
My goal is to run in college. Yeah.
What do you want to take up?
Criminal justice.
What are you looking at?
State colleges.
Yeah.
I'm looking more towards like the MAC. Some are like Canisius and stuff. I think there's Canisius. I don't remember the names of a couple others, but
okay, that's all right. And all three of you are very good students here at Meadville, I'm sure.
Yep.
So and before you go to college, you still got track too. I mean, you got to be excited about the winter and spring because it's going to be
We're looking forward to that. Yeah, 4x800 relay team is going to look good this year, I think, again, and everyone individually. Pat's 2 mile, Matt in the mile and the 800, and I run the 800. We should all be pretty good.
And Teddy, we didn't even mention Teddy Ernst. I mean, he's a good runner too. He really helps out in those relays and.
And he's young, so he still has a lot of time to improve. And I wouldn't be surprised if you see him here next year for cross country.
Yeah.
And you guys, just the way it worked out this year, were probably the most celebrated team in Meadville this fall.
With the region trophy and the record, we didn't lose a dual meet. And we had teams like Prep, McDowell, Erie, and those are huge schools to beat in any sport at Meadville. So we're really proud to be a part of that. Yeah.
What about the faculty here at the high school? Do they recognize what people do in cross country? Because let's be honest, you don't get big crowds at a cross country meet.
Right.
Parents maybe, or your grandparents, or your aunts or uncles, but how do you get treated here?
It's a little different than like the football team. I mean, when they're successful, you see everyone going to games, but I think towards the end of the year, when all three of us qualified for states, the school did kind of rally around us, and we had a nice little send-off on the way to states, and teachers were giving us good luck and everything. So it was nice to finally get some appreciation for such a small sport.
I think the Tribune too. We got to give a shout out to them. They really covered the sport more than I've seen, at least in my time. So we got a lot of love in the Tribune, so that helped the community and teachers and friends. They all just rallied behind us and got us to state. So.
But they do a great job with all local sports,
Yeah.
distributing, covering those things.
Yeah.
This is my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
Matt, what about you? Was it enjoyable to hear people say good job, good luck at states and so forth?
Yeah, there was a few people that told me, and a few of like my teachers and stuff, so I thought that was cool.
What about, like, you guys are into technology, you know, to me, I'm not into stuff like that, but you guys are into Facebook and stuff. Do you get a lot of stuff on Facebook, like good luck at states, or communicating with your friends or relatives on Facebook?
Yeah, our friends. I mean, everybody knows about our races and how we do, especially like Pat said in the Tribune, and a lot of family. Like I have family in South Carolina, and they get the Tribune electronically, and every morning after a race, I'll wake up and
That's
see
a good plug.
job. Yeah.
Pete likes that. You know, and also here in Meadville, I think John Friday, athletic director, has a Twitter account and he has a web page, and he tries to update that, what's going on with the athletes, and that's pretty well done.
Yeah, he updates that, and then me and Tucker actually run another Meadville athletics page that's like a student run. So we just like to keep all the sports updated, all sport wins here at Meadville. We like to just tweet out because it's hard work and we like to be recognized. I think everybody does. So it's nice to get that like good luck text or congratulations text after a big race.
And not to put any pressure on you, Pat, but you're going to lose two valuable teammates here next year. What kind of team is Meadville going to have next year? Is it too early to tell?
It is early. We have some upcoming kids from middle school, but yeah, I never lose faith for a team. Hopefully another region trophy, but practices will definitely take a hit. Running with these guys every day is enjoyable. It's always fun. So not having that competition to run with and those friends to run with will be tough, but it's still there. Like I'll still be there, and I'll be hoping for a good run at state. So that will be pushing me through the practices.
And you'll be the guy to be running with the younger guys to help them come up.
Yeah,
They'll
definitely.
be looking to you.
Yeah.
And what about, your other coach, guys? What about Miss Paris? How does she help you guys out?
She's great. She's more of the social coach. Like if there's any time you need to talk or you need to get your head right. I definitely last year going into districts I didn't have Pat to run with, so I was running alone a lot of the time, and it's kind of frustrating. Running definitely gets in your head. So Mrs. Paris is a great coach.
Never make it through a practice without a joke from Coach Paris.
That's a good thing.
Yes.
Keeps everything light and so forth, right?
That's right, yes.
Well, guys, we want to wish you all the luck in the world. You two seniors do great. You're going to have a great year in track, too. But, I mean, as you go on to college and whatever you choose to do in life, what you learn in sports helps you perform in life.
Sure.
And you work through difficulties. You had that injury last year you had to work through. You had some disappointments you had to work through, too. And Matt, you had to change, so you might even change careers as you get older. You learn a lot by sports. You learn a lot about self-discipline. And I think all three of you are going to be very successul. We're glad you're back next year. You're going to run for governor next year?
Might be.
Might be. I don't know where we get that from. I just threw that out there. All right. We'll be back. And we're back with Coach Chuck Jones to my right, and to his right, Lauren Euler, right, one of the top female runners, and of course, to her right, Coach Heather Paris. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, Pete, why don't you ask the first question here?
Lauren, you also qualified for states this year, right?
No, I was one place off. Yeah.
Darn. Let's back it up. But this was your first year out for cross country?
Yeah, I had done track since 8th grade, and after I had an injury and I had to take 10 weeks off to cross train, and I was just itching to get back in those shoes, and so I just couldn't resist trying it my senior year. So.
Okay, because Chuck, you told me you were trying to get her to run.
Yeah, absolutely. Lauren has had great potential from track, and we've always tried to get her to transfer it over to the cross-country program, and we tried for 3 years. Absolutely did not try this year, and she says she wants to run, so go figure, I guess, huh?
Kids, man. You glad about the decision you made?
Yeah, I was really happy with it. It was a really good experience, good coaches, good teammates.
Did you do anything else during the fall previously?
No, I always just, I'm big into working out, lifting and stuff. Obviously, it's a little different from long distance running, but.
But you were having success in the spring with the track and field teams too, weren't you?
Yeah.
Did that like with Matt? Did that say maybe I should go give cross country?
Yeah, definitely just the background with running. And I did do the mile, which is a little bit of a distance event. So our practices were kind of similar to how we train for cross country, and I think it gave me a good foundation to build off of in the fall.
So cross country is the mile times 3 plus 0.1
Well,
in the mud.
Yeah, some hills.
So you just made it, or just missed.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about that?
Well, starting out, my goal was just to get into the 23s. So getting a PR of 20:32 was really exciting for me. I honestly wasn't looking at states. I was just hoping for districts. And so even just to make it to districts, I was really happy.
So you were hoping to get in the 23s, and you got a time of 20-something?
Yeah.
So you beat your goal was by 3 minutes?
Yes.
That's fantastic. And I remember, like, because I had been covering your team for a little while, Coach, and I remember I didn't really know much about Lauren in a cross country sense, and then I started following your meet results and seeing her name up there and seeing her like I think she won the the Erie meet up at the.
I got second.
Second,
yes.
yeah, but still, it was a pretty outstanding run. And like, where did this girl come from?
Yeah, she had a great season. I mean, for a first-time runner, she medaled at every single invitational we went to.
Wow.
And as I said, it was just down to one place at the district, and even further than that, just there was 2 points separating second from third, and had that flipped, that would have bumped her up one. I mean, that's how close she was. And we're very proud of the effort that she put in this year, and for a rookie season, that's not too bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Lauren, how proud are your parents of the year you had?
They're pretty happy. They got to come to some of the meets. I always used to be afraid to have them watch, and this year I was like, you can come, it's fine. Like, and they're very supportive, got me my running shoes and all that. They're very happy.
Coach, let's go back a little bit, because I see you a lot during the summer. We go to the same place once in a while for coffee and so forth. And I remember you telling me early on, I said, how's your team going to be? And you go, I think we're going to have a good team this year. Did it pan out the way you thought?
Yeah, it did. I think, we had some setbacks early in the season that may have taken a little bit of our depth away. But our 4th and 5th runners continued to improve throughout the year, a little bit better than I thought they would. And we ended up only being about 18 points, I think it was, away from making it to states. And, that's being a little thinner than we thought we were going to be at the beginning of the year.
But, the region, as people said earlier, the region was really tougher this year than in the past, and yet, first time in a long time you win the region championship. How satisfied are you with that?
We're always satisfied anytime you win a championship, but I think it's extra special when you're in a region where you're the only 5 or 2A team in it, and so we were very proud of that.
Yeah.
And the bulk of that centers around those 3 guys you just interviewed. I mean, they did a tremendous job from the beginning of June right up to the end of the season. They never lost faith. They stuck to the program, the plan, and I think they reaped the benefits of it because of that.
How important is that young lady in the DN is helping you out for years now, Heather Paris? How important is she to the program?
It is the best. I think, I've always looked at it this way. Both of us fill in each other's weaknesses. And that's the best way you could ever put a coaching staff together. The things that I don't like to do, she likes to do. And the things I like to do, she doesn't mind letting me do it. And when it gets down to, I think Tucker said it best, when it gets down to a talk, it's probably best they do talk to Coach Parrott, because I think she handles it a little more calmer than I do oftentimes, and she's able to get out of them what they need.
How long have you guys been doing it?
Well, I have been coaching for 18 years. Chuck and I had a period of time. I actually started with Julie Williams, if you remember Julie. My 2nd year of teaching, and I'm in year 20 of teaching now. So Chuck came in, well, he had actually started the cross-country program before I started teaching here.
Probably before you started teaching.
Were you?
I was going to say maybe before you were
Don't
born,
jam him that much. So we were saying, is this like our 15th year together, Chuck?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Probably 15 seasons. Yeah, and it's, we're just a partnership. We're definitely a team, and we kind of just.
So there's no egos here. That's
No,
right?
no,
There's
and
egos.
we can kind of like, it's obviously we both have spouses that we love very much, but we're like, we can finish each other's sentences. It's weird and neat how you do become a team, and we know each other very well and what our strengths and weaknesses are, and it's worked out great. I couldn't ask for anything better than what we have. So
How does this program continue to grow?
well, I think Chuck does an amazing job. The kids respect him tremendously. Word gets out. I think we really truly have good kids. Good kids, respectful kids, academically successful kids in school, hard workers. And I think that draws other kids in. I think our success draws other kids in. It's
Is the
fun.
elementary program no longer in existence?
It's no longer in
That was a
existence,
good thing for a
unfortunately.
while,
It
right?
was.
Yes, it was.
Unfortunately, budget cuts, have affected us a little bit. We actually, and I should mention, Jenny Jones, who is an English teacher here at MASH. She actually was a state medalist for Fort LaBeouf when she was in high school. She ran for Fort LaBeouf. She has really helped us. Since I am no longer, in Meadville teaching and Chuck is retired, she's been able to help. She coaches indoor, so she pulls kids in from there.
Nice.
I was the middle school track coach for a lot of years, and decided that it was time to just focus on cross country and my family. So I gave up one and I chose track because cross country is, my baby. So Jenny took over for me in track as well, and that was one of our biggest ways to grow the program, was through the track program. The middle school, just finding kids and that would never even think of running cross country, and pulling them in from there. We got a lot of runners that way. Andrew Geist is one that pops into my mind. If you remember Andrew Geist, he wouldn't have thought of running cross country if it was the last thing on earth that he did. And he came out one track season and I threw him in the mile just for the heck of it, and he ran a 5:08 and had never run a distance run in his life as an eighth grader. So, that's definitely one of the ways that we draw kids, and that Chuck is still able to coach track too, and keep that, like you said, that connection through the whole year. I think that makes a huge difference.
I have a question about this because it's got to be a hard sport to sell to kids. I mean, it's hard getting them to play any sports these days, and this one is pretty much just the tough part of sports, the running nonstop. What are the challenges of getting kids into it?
You know what, I think you saw three guys who helped that happen. I think the kids who run and enjoy it spread that word around, and then you can attract other kids because of that. Those three guys and Lauren here are quality runners. They're quality people, and they all communicate pretty well with their peers. And I think that word gets out. It's always very helpful. Certainly, the Tribune has helped a great deal over the years. I'm going to say the same thing as the other guys, because it's a sport that doesn't get a lot of attention. It's a lot of personal pride in that sport. It's a different kind of athlete. We very seldom in that sport do we worry about athletic eligibility, because they're disciplined to do the sport. They're also disciplined in the classroom, and I think that that's bodes well for them.
It's a unique sport in that way.
Yeah.
It's not a touchdown sport. It's not a three-pointer sport. It's a personal achievement.
And I always like to say it this way: it's one of the sports where you don't have to worry about the coach determining whether you're on the varsity or not. You determine that by the way you run when it's time to compete.
And I think the kids that we have, no matter how you slice it, the desire to run is in them. It's in there. I think, even, Chuck has been a runner. I'm a runner. I mean, it's something that I think is in you. and maybe you have to draw it out, but I think that, you know, the kids we have, it's just, it's cliche to say you're born with it, but I mean, it's in you, and you know, it's a drive and desire that I think doesn't ever leave you. You know, I'm in my 40s and I'm still running. Chuck's still running, and he's, I don't know, maybe a little older than me. But, you know, I mean, it's in you. It stays with you. And
it's a lifetime sport.
It's a lifelong thing that, you know, you can use. And it's something I hope that, you know, our kids, like Lauren and the boys, when they have families, they pass that on to them too. And, you know, Matt continuing, you know, as he said, he didn't want that pressure, but he finally decided to continue the tradition of his grandfather and dad. I mean, that's huge. Chuck's daughter, Megan, you know, was a extremely successful runner for us.
Yeah.
It just, it's a blessing to be involved with the sport and with running. It's a really
Lauren,
neat
real
thing.
quick before we run out of time. Goals, what do you want to go to school? What do you want to major in?
I'd like to major in business. I'm looking at a lot of different schools, anywhere from really big schools like Pitt, NC State. Surprisingly, I have family there. But I'm also looking into...
Nice down there. Nice.
Yeah?
Don't blame you.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
I'm also looking into Westminster. I've actually met with the coach for cross
So
country.
you want to run cross country?
So if I were to do that, obviously, you know, D3 smaller schools. So we'll see what happens.
Well, good luck to you, coaches. Thanks for giving us a few minutes.
Thanks.
Welcome back, and we have Matt DiGiacomo to help us out with this segment. Matt?
Yes, well, we are joined today by Jack Coakley, Noah Bernarding, and Stephen Clulo from the Region 3 champion Cochranton Cardinals, and also the District 10 champions this year, back-to-back years.
Well, congratulations, guys. I remember talking to a couple of you guys last year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're back again on TV. Why was this year so successful again?
We had all the same guys back again, so we knew how to work together good. So
we also had an extra addition this year. He definitely helped us out. So glad we brought him on.
And then still working in the winter and spring and keep on pushing like we did last year too.
So now that two of you are done, you're both seniors, you guys here. That means you're done running this winter, or are you still going to run during the winter?
We'll probably still keep running.
Yeah, I'm going to continue because I'm going to college. So
where are you going?
Waynesburg.
They're going to run there?
Yep.
Nice, congratulations.
Thank you.
What are you going to go for?
Chemistry.
Chemistry?
Yep.
Smart young man, man. You like that periodic table, right? Never understood that thing, but that's okay. What are you doing?
I'm going in the Marines.
Congratulations.
Signed
Awesome.
yesterday. So. Yeah,
What made you choose the Marines? I mean, that's like the top echelon of the services. Not that the other ones are bad. I'm not saying that, but the Marines was like, you know, they had the nice uniforms anyway.
Yeah, they have a more team-based, so like you're in a certain team and everybody in that team is responsible for everybody else in that team, and I like that.
When are you going to go? This summer?
Yeah, hopefully right after I graduate, like a week after, I'll be heading down to South Carolina for boot camp.
Do you have any relatives that are in the service?
Yeah, I have a bunch.
Okay.
On both sides, yeah.
On both sides, so that's nice. Yep. And you're a junior, so you're back here next year, so you're going to be running a lot then.
Yep.
So, what kind of year did you have?
It was all right. I was hurt for pretty much most of it, so that was probably not the best time, but still could put in effort for the team.
I believe you were injured last year too, weren't you?
No.
No, it wasn't last year. It was. It must have been this year, I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But it was interesting. You mentioned having someone new to this year's team, and while you guys were the big three, you were the three that were always near the top. It was really that 4, 5, 6, and 7 guy that made the difference, I think, this year to last year. And it was a tighter race, and everyone thought, oh, it was going to be easy for you because Fairview moved out and all these other teams, but I can't remember who placed second at districts, was right there with you at the end. But what was for you guys winning it that second time with that team pushing you? I mean, how much did that get your adrenaline going and get you over that hump?
Well, we knew that it was West Middlesex. West Middlesex came running right behind us, and we knew all year they've been the ones that have been closest to us. So we were watching them and stuff, and then I think they might have taken like the weekend before off, so we knew they were going to come hard, and that's what we saw like throughout the whole race. But we just knew we had to keep pushing.
The other thing I noticed this year, and it's every year, as I'm sure your coaches told you, Buell Park is so muddy for districts, it seems. How grueling is that, especially when you have to come back the next week and race for states?
It was definitely took a toll on the legs. We were feeling it, but we knew we had to push through it, and it would be fine, and we could get through the soreness. We just had to get through the mud that day. So.
Did you guys expect to win? Did you guys expect to win districts? You didn't hope to win. Did you guys kind of expected it? Like, we run hard, nobody beats us.
I know personally I did. I knew that a lot of teams probably didn't work as hard as we did in the winter, in the spring, in the summer. Our coach always tells us that like these days that we don't want to run when it's 20 degrees or raining, or when it's 90 degrees and really sunny out. He said those are the days that count and matters, and that if we do run those days, then we'll come out on top.
Yeah, I didn't see any of your meets, but I talked to some people to prepare for this interview with you guys, and the word I got from some people is your team had a little swagger this year. Like, you guys, knew you were good, and you were going to beat people. And when you went running out in your thing, you went and showed those people we're the best team in this region, and you're going to have to beat us. We're not going to pity you guys. We're going to just go. Did you guys feel that way?
Yeah.
And last year, like Steven said during the interview, we're not always cocky, but we have the confidence, and that we definitely had it this year coming in, because what we did last year, we knew we wanted to get that improved, and we were working for that. So that really helped.
And the whole team went to states. I mean, that's got to be a great feeling right there.
Yeah.
Was the course any better at states than at districts?
Yeah, there were some spots that were muddy, but but most of it was pretty nice. It was a little different than the district, because district was really flat, but it was really hilly up in states.
Is it? How would you describe that course compared to what you usually run? Is it more difficult? Is it kind of even out everybody because you have all the different hills and the different flat parts? Do you think it makes everyone kind of more equal?
That course is probably the hardest one we run, because most of the courses around here, they do have a lot of flats in it, and that course really has none. The finish is like the flattest part of that whole course. So.
How'd you guys do at states? What'd you guys place individually?
6th.
Wow.
Well, no, I didn't place it. Our team placed it.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. What did you guys place individually?
I took 63rd.
59th.
I was 21st.
Nice. That's really good.
Yeah.
How many runners?
212, I think.
Wow.
212.
It must look like a crazy thing when that thing starts.
Yeah.
Holy mackerel. Is there any pushing and shoving going on when you're running those races?
Yeah, a little bit at the beginning, because you have to get out and get established, and so you wind up a little bit, and so you can get through people. But after that, I don't see too much. But
there's a lot of respect between high school athletes that run cross country.
Yeah, I feel like there is.
Yeah.
And tell us about your coaches. How did they get you guys ready? Did you guys start smiling? I mean, they were quite a duel there. It's a family duel right there. So tell us about your coaches.
You want me to go?
Yeah,
sure.
Go. You're coming back next year.
Our coaches are probably one of the best coaches around here, is what I think, at least. He really does help us a lot. He gave us a lot of things to do. He pushes us probably the hardest. Even sometimes that we don't want to go, he still makes us. But yeah, I think they are the best two coaches around here.
And since they push you guys realize that it's for your benefit then. So you don't want to be, even when you're tired sometimes, somebody's pushing you, don't want to hear it, but you realize your benefit. How long does it take you to recover from a race?
Oh, probably I don't know, 15 minutes or something. It's to get everything, my breath back. Probably 15 minutes.
And what about, how long does it take you to recover from a tough race to run hard? I mean, say you have a match on Tuesday, can you run another one by Friday, or does it take you a week, or?
Yeah, I'd say we can run probably Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
Do you pace? Do you taper off before an invitational or something? Say you have an invitational on Saturday, is Friday practice really an easy one per se?
Yeah, we usually go we have a race day, and then we go easier the next day, like a distance or something, and then an up-tempo workout, so that's a lot harder. And then the day before a race, we tempo back down.
What was it like going to states as far as the school is concerned? Because, you know, like I told the kids in Meadville, for some reason, football is the main focus of most schools in the fall. And cross country is like, hey, you know, good for you. But you guys went to states. Did you ever send off? Or how would it? Nothing. Nothing.
No.
We got like people in the school like knew what we had done through the year, and they were like recognizing that. But our volleyball team, girls volleyball team, did do well, and they got more of the recognition than we did. But
you know, girls volleyball has done well for a while.
Yeah.
In this school, it's a tradition. But I think cross country is getting there. I think you guys are building a tradition for cross country, and that's going to make you guys feel good.
Yeah. Yep.
You get like congratulations and good luck by a lot of the staff.
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of them would stop us in the hallways and say good luck to us during class or whatever, or after class and everything.
Mr. Wigton?
Yep.
He's into athletics a lot. I'm sure he does. That's great. Parents, did your parents go down to states?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So you guys are like a group of parents. And like a festive atmosphere down there.
Yeah. Even a couple teachers went down, which was very unexpected.
Yeah, that is. Now, you guys take like vans?
No, we usually take vans, but this year we took a big bus. So.
Nice. Have more room to stretch out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody got their own seat?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. All right, well, you guys, first of all, you're going to tell everybody what you're doing after you graduate.
Oh, I'm planning to go into the Marines straight out of high school and then go into a career as a crew chief, which is like an aircraft mechanic, but you ride on.
And I will hope that we're in no conflicts, but at length of your duration in the Marines, we don't have to send you anywhere.
And I'm going to college for chemistry, and after that, probably going to head to some sort of lab to do lab work, because that was my favorite part of chemistry through high school, and I want to continue that. So,
what is it about runners? It seems like runners are very smart. I'm serious. Very good academic students, no matter who I go to, whatever teams, are very smart. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Yep.
Good luck in your future.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah. Back with Alex McKay, Lee Alt, and Coach Roach. Guys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Coach, more hardware this year. Tell us about your team.
Well, it was for the team from last year. Remember I told you we're going to defend those, so we should probably drag them out and put the other two here. So
You did a great job defending those, didn't you?
Yeah. We ended up with a couple new faces to help us out. Reshuffled the order a little bit.
Let me interrupt you for a minute, because something comes to my mind. You said, we were going to defend those. We had a lot of people back, but that's not a guarantee in sport. Because you have people back, you're going to win again. So still a lot of hard work, correct?
Most definitely, yeah. If there were guarantees, there wouldn't be any reason to go to the games.
That's right.
Okay. This year was, which you would assume would be an easier year for us, because we're going to come back. We have a lot of experience. We also experienced a lot of problems this year, too. We had a lot of unexpected injuries. I think it actually made us better, because it made other people step up. We have a very tight team concept, which I always use. And so it's, we even at practice, we talk about it. Well, so-and-so might be sick tomorrow. Who's going to step up and take his place or do whatever? So a couple of times, we had actually two or three of the top 7 out, which means the guys that aren't here, the 8s and the 9s and the 10s, they got a chance to strap them up and put them in for us, and they did really well. Probably the best example is that I set Noah and Lee out at Rocky Grove. And we were defending there also, and we came within a few points to General McLean, which ended up winning it, and General McLean did well in the AA area. So it goes to show you a couple people stepped up that day and took us. So when we get to the end of the year, now we've got extra people we can depend on.
How much satisfaction does that give you as a coach, though, to see the younger kids or the 8s and 9s step up to the plate and help?
Oh, that's what it's all about. Too many, especially in a sport like this, which it can be more of an individual type sport, you kind of concentrate on those 2 or 3 guys that get their name in the paper, their picture in the paper, et cetera. But it's really, I always tell them, it's these guys in the back that do all the work. And we had a great example of that. And what you had seen them training a lot of times, it's not 4 or 5 of them, it's 8 or 9 or 10 of them in a pack going down through there. And these guys here appreciate it, and they know that.
I just say that these 2 seniors here, or 2 of those, were constantly. When they're calling in, you're looking. You know where your top 3 guys are, but you're always looking to see who's going to be next. These 2 gentlemen certainly pulled up a lot of weight this year, as did a couple other guys who will be on a little later. And without them, you can take 1, 2, and 3, but if your next guy is not till way down the road, you're not going to win a whole lot.
And there were great examples of that through other teams that had, 2 or 3 guys up there competing with us in the front part, and then there are other guys who are not to be found. And going from, where you expect them to be in the top 3 or 4 as far as teams go, to sliding clear down to 10, 12, whatever. So, yeah.
Why do you guys like being part of this team? Because the coach pointed out and said it meant that you guys aren't the top 3, but you contribute so much. What makes you keep coming back and wanting to contribute?
It's just a great experience. The team's we're family. I mean, we mess around a lot. We have a lot of fun. But what it comes down to the end of the day, we're all focused on improving each other, because we want the team to do well, and we want everybody to do their best, because we care about each other.
You guys bought into the team concept, so when you guys win, you have pride when I say Cochranton first. We want to give you these. There's a lot of pride when I hand this hardware to you guys.
Yeah, a lot of it. These guys, we all worked hard for this. We all train hard as a team together. We're, like he said, we're a family. We live and die with each other. It's a great opportunity to be part of this team.
That's really good. Now, what about, do you see younger kids down at the lower levels in Cochranton, and they say, hey, we want to run someday because you guys are, how do you pass that on?
Oh yeah, my younger brother's already on the team. He's a freshman, and he's doing pretty well. We have a lot of up and coming kids that are doing really well already, and even the kids they're still in grade school, they're starting to show some interest, and that's just, I guess, brought forward by us just showing our love of running and how much fun it is to be part of the team, and that's just what gets kids interested.
It's neat too, you have this hardware, you have some in the trophy case behind you guys from the past too. When you guys come back, at a reunion or when to visit schools someday, and you're looking, hey, we put those in there, man. That's us to put that. Gives you a lot of satisfaction, right?
Yeah.
How hard is it to run in the wintertime? Because it's not nice weather around here in the wintertime. You're talking about Florida, it's not bad to run in the wintertime down there, but you're talking about Western PA?
It can be challenging depending on the day.
You gotta be careful the cars don't run you over when it's slush and snow out there.
The worst part is the footing. If it's, if you don't want to drive, you don't really want to run either.
That's good, I like that.
Even if it's cold, it's not too bad. You can usually get by with just a sweatshirt, because we're still training in winter. We're still working. You don't need to bundle up too much.
What about diet? Do you keep your same diet all year, or do you do it mostly during the season, or is there a special diet? I mean, you guys eating, Hostess Twinkies and cupcakes and stuff?
No, we try and tend to stay away from all the junk food and stuff. It's not really a good diet to be on. Just have all your healthy food. You have the pasta before race days and all the.
Do you have a pasta meal like anybody, like all the team over? Any parents say a pasta day or anything?
Special occasions. We had one before regions, before districts.
Before regions. Regions?
Was it regions?
What about when you go down to states? Now, do you guys eat as a team, or do you go with your families go?
Families can go. Families
your families go to states?
Yeah,
do you eat with them, or do you eat with the team? How's that work?
They'll come with us.
With the team, yeah.
Yeah, and we'll go out and eat together. And
that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Yes. That's got to be a great thing.
That's
and you guys can get as much as you want, because I'm supposed school will pay for some, and then parents will kick in if they need some more, right?
Yeah.
So what is that like, to go to states to run? I mean, you're at the pinnacle of high school competition. What is that like? How did you do in states?
I didn't do so well. My time was okay. It was around 1940-ish, but it was overall a great experience to be in for the second time.
What's that like, though, when you get off the... How did you do at States? What place did you get? You remember?
My score for the teams was... I don't know what it is.
Okay. What's it feel like, though, before they fire that gun, knowing I'm running in the state meet?
It feels amazing to know you're competing with...
The best, right?
Yeah, you're part of the best, you know? It's just... You can feel... You know how much work you had to put in to get in there, and you know everybody around you put in the same amount of work to get where you are, and it's just... It really brings out a feeling of respect for each other, even complete strangers, just because you know what you have to put in to get there, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to take in.
Heck yeah.
You mentioned the work, and for people who don't know much about cross country, I was a sprinter in high school. Hit the gun. I was good. I run as fast as I could, as long as I could, which is about 410 feet. But how many miles would you say you put on from the end of last season until the state run this year, just to get ready for that? I mean,
God, that'd be a big number.
Lots of miles.
Yeah.
They average in the summer. They're averaging probably between 30 and 40 miles a week.
A week. I don't drive that many miles a week.
And then during the season, we do a little bit less mileage, but a little bit quicker pace. So you get the trade-off. So they've probably put 4,000 or 5,000 miles in.
Dedication is an understatement for this sport. You guys are both seniors. What are you doing when you graduate? Which won't be that long.
I am going to college to be a chiropractor.
Nice. What school are you looking at there?
Geneva in Grove City.
Maybe run for them, or? Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm headed for my undergraduate degree in aerospace engineering, and then...
Wait, what is it?
Aerospace engineering, Aero-Astro.
Yeah. So you like math a lot?
Somewhat, yeah.
Can you? I never understood algebra. To this day, I don't understand. Like 2x plus 3y. I don't care. I never did back then. But you like all that. See, geometry I didn't mind because I could memorize the theorems, but algebra and statistics?
Haven't gotten into a whole lot of statistics yet. It's just not something we offer at Cochranton. Calculus has been good so far.
Yeah, good. So you really, and what do you want to do? You said undergrad, then?
I'm headed probably for my graduate degree in robotics, and after that I hope to get a career in private space flight.
Now, Coach, you got a bunch of smart young people here on this team, let me tell you.
Well, you mentioned that before, and over the years, I've probably, of all the sporting teams, I have more valedictorians, salutatorians, national honor. Last year, we were one person short of putting everyone on the honor roll. So.
Wow. Okay, well, guys, thanks for coming on. Coach, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Back with Alex Jackson and Franklin Morris and Coach Roach, the younger one. And guys, first of all, congratulations, great year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're the new guy.
Yep, I'm the new guy.
How'd you get dragged onto this team?
I don't know. I always did love running, but one thing I always remember, I always told Coach, when I did play football, I was like, oh, I'm gonna run this year, I'm gonna run, and then I was decided this year, I was like, why not try something new, see how good, because people were like, you could be good, or you could help the team. So my family convinced me, and a couple of friends, so I was like, why not? And I will never forget the face expressions when I saw it, when people saw me coming up on the steps. They're like, oh, okay. And so, first practice, I was like, I don't know what I got myself into. But, then I liked it, so I got attached real quick.
Did you, very blunt with you, did you throw up the first couple of practices?
No, actually, no.
That's good.
No, I knew.
So did you run a little this summer to get ready?
Yeah, I always ran, through everything, through basketball and everything. So I always had a, loving for running. So it's nothing new to me, but definitely a new pace, a new, program. So.
one of the things people might not realize, but the mental aspect of the sport is unbelievable. You got to be mentally tough to be a cross-country runner.
Definitely,
correct?
I've learned that the hard way. I definitely did learn that for sure. There were some times that I was like, what do I do? Because I got in a couple situations. I was like, how bad do I want this, or how bad do they really need me? So, but it is a really mental game more than physical.
You got home saying, do I really want to go to practice tomorrow?
It wasn't the practices. I liked
the meets.
Oh yeah.
Coach, first year, how do you do?
He did very well. He was good addition to what we already had formed with the rest of the boys. So
pleasant surprise him coming out.
Yep, he had to learn the hard way, like you said, a couple of times, but he learned.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's really good to go senior year to help the team like you did. And what about you, sir? How'd you do this year?
I did all right. I did better than I did last year. Was able to contribute to the team. And
what year are you in?
I'm a junior.
You're junior, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're back next year with these guys running again.
Yep.
And I know it's early, probably haven't thought about it, but being that you're a junior, where do you want to be next year as a senior runner?
I think that'll just come with time. Obviously, still looking to. I think we'll have a pretty solid team next year. Still looking to keep the team together. We're looking to go back to back to back. Like that's not out of the question. So whatever I can do to help make that happen, that's kind of my goal, is to get up there and do what I can do.
Now, what do you do? Like, you're going to run this winter. Do you do any weight training to help you at all?
I play basketball in the winter and volleyball in the spring, but I know Coach does with the other runners that don't play other sports. They do weight training.
Cross country, basketball, volleyball.
Yep.
Anything else you do? Wow, that's a full plate.
Yep.
Now you experience being on a great team this year, obviously, and you're graduating.
He's a junior.
You're a junior too. So you're back. So you both are back.
Yep.
Yeah.
So do you guys when you guys see yourself like you're losing the top three? Do you guys kind of push maybe and try to get in that?
We'll definitely have that mindset because one of our best runners, he's going to be definitely putting in the work. So, we're gonna even work harder next year if we're definitely going to want to go back to back to back. So, we'll put in the work. I don't think we'll have any troubles, especially with the kids coming up. We know they have some good talents, and we've talked to them already. So. We know they're mentally and ready. So
you guys are making history here.
That's the goal.
Really, you are in this school cross country back to back, and then you want to go back to back to back. That's history making.
Oh yeah.
Now you guys, Coach Roach is off camera, but I'm not going to ask you about him. I'm going to ask you about the other coach right here. How did she help you out?
Well, she helps actually a lot actually. Coming into practice, she doesn't say much during practices. She just lets us practice. But before the race, she definitely comes up and says, just do your own pace. Sometimes I listen, sometimes I don't. It's this mental thing again. But she's definitely there. She's more like a mother than a coach.
So she's there, like if you want to talk to someone.
Oh yeah, she's definitely there for you. That was my main goal, being able to call her mother, because. Being contribute as a kid for her child, so it was
That's the joke. They can call me mom after we go to state.
Yep.
That's cool. Yep. So, what's it like for you to go from a great cross country team, now you're going into basketball?
Yeah.
Do you try to bring that winning tradition into the basketball team?
Yeah, cross country is very unique with the team mindset. I think something that you don't experience in any other sport is the team. You're with the kids from 7th to 12th grade. That doesn't happen in any other sport. You're with the seniors when you start young, and so you learn that team mindset all the way up through, and I think that's something we as cross-country runners have to carry throughout what we do. So we have to bring that to the basketball court and teach that team unity, and hopefully that success carries over with that team unity.
When do you run in the summer?
When do I run?
You guys run as a team before?
Yeah, in the evenings.
In the evenings?
Yeah.
So you put a lot of time in the evenings. Your friends are out doing something else. You guys are down here running.
Yeah.
You guys invest a lot of time.
Yeah, but it's worth it. We wouldn't have this hardware sitting in front of us if we didn't put that time in. So.
And I think what you're learning too is, since you're investing that time, is you're taking an ownership into this program. You don't want to lose.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a game that it's competition really. So.
How'd it feel going to states?
It was amazing. I mean, anytime you go, I don't know. Not everybody gets to do it.
You got that right.
Yeah, not everybody gets to do it. So definitely blessed to be a part of this team and be able to do that. It's a crazy experience.
You know what's great about that too, and you guys probably maybe you'll end up going there next year too, but when you're 50 years old,
yeah,
you know, and you're going through your house and you pull out this Cochranton yearbook when you're 50 and you go, I went to States, man. Yep. You know?
Yeah.
Tell your grandkids when they get older, you know what? I was at States when I was a kid. What are you doing? You know, because like you guys said, it's not an easy accomplishment. And you get the whole team there, that is out of sight.
Yeah.
That's got to be a thrill for all you guys to get there. And then you go out to eat as a team and you have fun and hotels.
Yeah, we say in a bed and breakfast. Yep.
Yeah, so that must have been a panic too.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was
Stories you can last forever with those guys,
absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Some of you don't want to repeat to anybody, I'm sure.
Right, you said you hadn't been to any cross-country meets this year. I always do a couple, but I do a lot of wrestling, and the fan base are very, very similar. And I've seen guys at cross-country meets and at wrestling meets that have no horse in the stake. They're just there because they love the sport, and you get that. I mean, I'm sure you guys ran into people, maybe even from the area down in Hershey, who didn't have any kids on the team, but were just cross-country fanatics.
Yeah.
And it's a different. You'd have to go see one. It's really.
It's really.
They are rabid.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's got to get you guys pumped up too.
Oh yeah. Sometimes.
We had a lot of our alumni that came to that
Did you
supported us
really?
throughout. Yeah, so
That is out of sight.
they keep following us, so that's a good thing that they're
That's a
always there
great
with
thing.
us. And
Alumni runners and went to school here from the
Yep.
past?
Yep.
Wow, that is fantastic.
They follow us everywhere we go.
I think that's true of a small community like this. I know Cochranton has their volleyball fanatics, Maplewood has their volleyball. It seems like the small schools have their fanatics in sports like cross-country, volleyball, wrestling, you know, that really continue to support their programs. You have a great community support?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, with no doubt.
You guys have fundraisers for cross-country, or
We do just our Cardinal Invitational, so that's basically our fundraiser.
how's that work? Has that been good
Yeah,
through the
our
years?
parents work it, so the concession stand, that's where we get most of our money, and then we do different things for the kids.
How many teams you have for that?
20 to 23.
Wow, that must take a lot of work to put an invitational on.
Yeah.
So you're running it back here? Or
No, it's over at the elementary school.
Yeah.
back at the elementary school. So you guys go out and lay the course out and all that stuff?
It's been the same course ever since. So.
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, congratulations.
Thank you.
Good luck next year. Hopefully we'll come back and interview you guys again.
Yeah, hopefully.
For sure. Yep.
Coach, great job again. Continue to fine job. And Matt, thanks for helping us out today.
Here.
You've been watching Sports Close-Up on Armstrong.